Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X-22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 2488A, and today's date is May 26, 2021, and the title of the episode is Central Bank Cannot Control Inflation, Panic, Their System is Unraveling. Let's talk about being prepared. If this summer is anything like last summer, then record-breaking temperatures are on the way. Cities around the world are going to experience the hottest summers ever on record. And a good way to prepare for this is a mini air conditioner. You can put it anywhere. This air conditioner is a convenient 2-in-1 highly versatile air cooler that also serves as a humidifier. It works by pushing out conditioned air with the use of water evaporation, and it's purified by a filter to ensure it stays hygienic to improve the air quality of a room. This mini AC unit comes with multiple adjustable modes to tailor it to your environment and preferences. It works as a portable air cooler and air humidifier. Plus, it has a polar TEC coated fan system, high efficiency power cable, 2-piece locking water reservoir, and 90-day warranty and 30-day money-back guarantee. Easy Summer Cool is going to give everyone 50% off plus a 30-day money-back guarantee on their own mini AC unit. Go to easysummercool.com or click the link in the description. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, the central bank's plan, the deep state plan, the politicians' plan, everything that they try to do is completely unraveling on them. It's like they were set up. It was like they knew they had to push this plan forward. They thought they would use the pandemic. They thought it would go as planned. We would have the entire world economy shut down for 5 to 10 years. People would suffer. People would die. The economy would collapse. Governments would create currency like crazy, actually borrow currency. The central bank would be creating the currency like crazy. The world would be flooded in fiat, and we would see inflation. And the central bank and those people at the top would point to the governments. It was their fault. This is why we need to move you into the Great Reset. This is why we need green energy. Because everything that we had before didn't work. It was like they were led into this position where it completely boomeranged on them. Think about their plan. Think about what they were trying to do. And now they're out in the open. They don't have a pandemic. They don't have the world economy flooded with currency, with people dying. They don't have an implosion of the world economy where they can use that excuse to move everyone into their new system. Actually, countries right now, they're not agreeing with them. They're not agreeing with the Great Reset. They're not agreeing with, we should have the same corporate taxes across the board. They're not agreeing with the green agenda. See, if you had a war and the central banks use the war to move everyone into the new system, no one would complain. Why? Because the population would be reduced, there'd be destruction everywhere, and people would say, yes, we need a change, we need help here. We don't really care at this point. And the central bankers, it would have been very easy for them. With the pandemic, if this pandemic did what they wanted it to do, where the world economy was shut down for 5 years. People stayed home, received their universal basic income. People died because of suicides, depression, and maybe other things. The people would say, yes, we need something different. And they would introduce the Great Reset. And people would say, yes, we should move into the Great Reset because this way of life doesn't work. But they don't have that now. And when people like John Kerry and the rest go to different countries and say, listen, you need to go with us to the Great Reset. We need to do this. We need you to join up with the climate change agenda. Countries now are pushing back because there's no crisis right now. There's no event. There's nothing pushing them to do this. And them just telling the countries this is what you have to do, the countries now are saying no. Actually, if you look at the United States, the states are actually pushing back, saying absolutely not. But what has this done? It's turned everything on them. Think about what's happening here in the United States. When Trump was president, he controlled the private Western central bank illusion. He had full control over it. And he set it up on purpose, knowing that once he leaves office, things were going to go completely haywire because they were going to try to put everything back, just like the border. He locked down the border, and as soon as they tried to put it back to the way it was, and they had the people come up, there was a crisis. Are we starting to see a crisis in the economy? Yes. We see oil moving up. We see lumber moving up. We see corn moving up. We see wheat moving up. We see coal moving up. And now, some of the reporters are asking Jen Psaki some questions about the economy. You know, we're starting to see inflation. Is this good? What's going to happen? Now, she said, yes, we are going to see some inflation. There'll be some bumps in the road. But remember, we're recovering from a pandemic. Really? And what happens when it gets even worse? Because remember, this is just the beginning stage of it all. Just like with the border crisis, we don't have a crisis, and all of a sudden, yeah, well, we have a little bit of a crisis, and actually it hasn't gotten any better, it's gotten worse. The same thing with the economy. When we see the inflation in just these certain things, it's going to get a lot worse. It's not going to get better. It's not just going to poof disappear. Yes, we're seeing home prices move up. Yes, lumber costs are much, much more expensive right now. And for a time being, when home prices move up, people feel more comfortable. But think about the builders that have to build the homes. They don't know what the cost of lumber is going to be. Why? Because there are huge swings, especially swings moving up. And this makes it harder and harder for them to do business. The same thing with what people see every single day. Fuel prices. Fuel prices, they affect a lot of different things. Food. Let's talk about being prepared. If this summer is anything like last summer, then record-breaking temperatures are on the way. Cities around the world are going to experience the hottest summers ever on record. And a good way to prepare for this is a mini air conditioner. You can put it anywhere. This air conditioner is a convenient 2-in-1 highly versatile air cooler that also serves as a humidifier. Easy Summer Cool is going to give everyone 50% off plus a 30-day money-back guarantee on their own mini AC unit. Go to easysummercool.com or click the link in the description. Deliveries, manufacturing, you name it. Now, everything that Biden is trying to put into place is going to backfire on him because he's putting this into place on top of a system that is failing. And all these things that he said is going to make the economy incredible, it's actually going to have the opposite effect. Do you think Trump knew this? Of course he did. He set them all up. Actually, the private Western Central Bank plan is completely unraveling right now, right in front of their eyes. For the world to see. Everyone can see it now. And what do we see happening? Yes, we see gold moving up. Yes, they try to push cryptocurrency down. Yes, we see it moving right back up again. And remember, every time the private Western Central Bank tells you, don't do this, don't do that, it will be bad for you, it's always the opposite. If they're telling you that gold and silver are not money, they're barbarous relic, it's the opposite. If they say criminals use cryptocurrency, it's very volatile. It's a scary place to be. It's always the opposite. Same thing with the fake news. Why do you think they brought crypto down? Why do you think they bring gold down? To force you away from it. Where do they want everyone? Think about it. They want you to sell everything off and move to where if you want to do any type of investments? Stock market. That's where they want everyone to go. Why? Because they can control that. They can bring it up, they can bring it down. And when you lose everything, you lose everything. But what happens when people don't listen? What happens when people say, you know something? We're not going to do that. Now, think about it. Why do they want people in the market? They need it pumped up. They can't have people leaving the market and going into precious metals or going into cryptocurrency. They need people in there to keep it propped up. Look what they did with Trump during the pandemic. The very uber wealthy, they tried to bring the market down. They started to sell off like crazy. Why would they do that during the first part of the pandemic? They didn't even know what it was. It was planned. Because they wanted everyone to follow along. It didn't work. The same thing's happening right now. They want everyone out of precious metals and crypto. See, if those rise, if those move up, actually means the Federal Reserve note is moving down, people move into it. They maybe sell a stock or something and move into something that's going to give them a better return. And now they want people out of it. But their plan is not working. You know why? Because the people, they understand where this system's going to go. They're questioning it. They're watching it. They know. And you can see there are more and more companies that realize that people are going to use cryptocurrency. You might hate it. You might like it. Makes no difference. The Federal Reserve note is no longer going to exist because we're going to enter a crisis. We're going to enter a crisis, and people are going to point the finger. If we enter a crisis, people need to protect themselves. There needs to be a place where people can go, because if you just hold on to your Federal Reserve note, what happens? Look at other countries. When you saw hyperinflation, what happens? People lose everything. Your purchasing power completely disappears. But what happens if there is a way to protect yourself? What happens if there's a way to get out of the private Western central bank system? Yes, you can use gold and silver. It's a great store of wealth. But it's a little difficult to purchase things with it. What happens if there's a place you can go where it protects your wealth and you can still purchase? Actually, PayPal now is going to let you withdraw your cryptocurrencies. Think about what all these companies are doing right now. Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, all of them are allowing people to go ahead and invest or remove their funds from cryptocurrency. This is the beginning stages. This is how you build something up. Now you're going to see a lot of stores start to come into the market of accepting it. And as more and more people get used to it, as more and more people use it, there'll be a shift away from the fiat system. This is a system that the central bankers can't control. Yes, they're trying to control it with information. China's trying to control it by saying, we're banning it. There'll be no more miners here. Other countries saying we won't accept it. They've done this in the past with gold and silver, where they didn't let people purchase or sell gold and silver. Think about it. Think about what they did in the past. Think about what's happening today. Anything that is a threat to their system, they want to make it look like it's evil, that it's dangerous. It's a scary place to be. And that's what they're doing now, because this is the initial phase of it all. Remember, they want to usher in their own digital currency. They don't want people looking for alternatives. They want everyone focused on what they want. This is why they have to demonize everything else. But I do believe people are going to be a lot smarter than this. I do believe that people are going to witness something they have never seen in their lifetime. A complete implosion of the central bank fiat system. There is a crisis coming. And with a crisis means there's change. And it's not going to be change for the private Western central bank like they did back in the 70s. This is going to be change for the we the people, where we the people are going to decide where we go next, what currency we're going to use. This is their biggest fear. Their biggest fear is having people decide what they want to do. See, they're normally in charge. They usually direct the people of where they want them to go. Did you have a choice in 1913? No. Did you have a choice in the 40s with Bretton Woods? No. Did you have a choice during the 70s when they said, we're taking the Federal Reserve note off of the gold standard and moving it to the petrodollar system? No. Did you have a choice back in 2009, 2010 during the Great Recession where the central banks said we're taking total control? No. Do you have a choice now? Yes, you do. The people are in control. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.